All right. So, um, when I was mentioning before about the scroll, and we actually talked about my great grandmother's family, and then in the second page of the scroll, she had written some things down about my great grandfather family, and his mom and his dad, who were actually from Maryville, Tennessee. Now, his father's name was Newton Toole, and he lived in Maryville and died also in Maryville. So here's a picture of Newton Toole. That is Newton Toole. That is my great grandfather's father. So he's my great great grandfather. And let's see what else I have over here. Um, I also mentioned when I was on the scroll that my great grandmother and great grandfather had two sons and a daughter. Well, here's a picture of the two boys, and I want you to see. I want you to see the photo, and I want you to see how they are dressed. This is not. This is not your everyday family for Black people. Okay, this is my grandfather and his brother, and you can see that they are dressed very upscale, very upscale. So my grandfather and his brother, passed away early, and I had written that. I talked about that as well. So this is Clarence, who is my grandfather, and this is Charles Newton. Newton, named after his grandfather, who passed away early. And let's see what else I have over here. Now, you heard me talk about Aunt Nettie, and here's a picture of Aunt Nettie. And these people were serious people. uh, Back in those days, no one took a photo smiling, and so she is dressed, and I believe that uh, this is Mrs. Jane Cohen, Professor um, S.H. Toole's sister. So that is my great aunt, and Aunt Nettie, they call her Aunt Janie, same person. Right, okay. And you see that the way she is dressed. I believe she was widowed at that time, though. Let me see. Now, this is my grandmother as a teenager. She is a teenager, looking none. She doesn't look very happy. She was not very happy, actually. She possibly was already married in this picture. I'm not really sure, but I do know that she was a teenager in that picture. I should tell you that she was married extremely young. I'll leave it at that. Extremely young, and that her husband was many years older than her. This is this is the lady I was telling you about who actually divorced the husband, and we'll get some more into her because she raised me. This is the person who actually raised me. This is my grandma. This lady here was what my mother and my aunt called their nurse um, during a and I think I have another picture of them growing up, but this was their nurse. She took care of them pretty much. Um, you have to. Here's another picture of the school. You may be able to make that out a little bit better. Yes, a little bit better with the two buildings. The two buildings, and you can't see the walkway, but in between those two buildings is a glass covered hallway that adjoins the two buildings. This is another property. I believe that this is my great grandmom's house. And I remember that house because it's set up on a hill and there were pastures behind it. And she had a cow and she had some chickens. And that property was taken, I think, by eminent domain, which means that the government came in and actually uh, I think they paid her for it. I don't know how much they got paid for it, but they did get paid for the property. But it was not something that could be passed down through the family because a highway went through there, and so they took that property. Um, so I have some more pictures for the school, the classes, um, and you won't be able to see maybe some of the people, but my great granddad is right there, and there are four other teachers and a host of kids, a lot of kids taking a picture in front of the school, some of the classes. And let's see, we have others like that. That's a huge class. Now this is another grade, one of the teachers with them, and they are also taking a picture in front of the school. Okay, another class. And you can see the various age groups. Now here is a senior class, and they have a class shot out there, and I believe one of my relatives is in there, but I can never point that one out. But you see that these are college bound or college attending students at this particular point in time.